Hi everyone! I think this is my first games I played video for this year. I'll be talking about a mix of both wholesome and creepy games here, starting with some single-player games I played on Twitch. I don't really have much to say other than that, so let's get on with the video! The first game is Doronko Wanko. I saw this one on Twitter and it looked so cute that I decided to download it. Doronko Wanko will have you playing as a Pomeranian whose goal is to make your home as messy as it can be. To do that, you'll need to rub your back against mud, walk around the house, and shake your body. I thought this concept alone was really silly and cute, but what makes it even better is you unlock cosmetics for the dog, and even more ways to make a mess throughout the game. The cost of cleaning up and repairing everything increases whenever you make anything in the house dirty, and the game rewards you with different items for each milestone you reach. So you can put cute hats on, and even items that cause ink to splatter everywhere. That's it really. Doronko Wanko is a simple game that I had so much fun playing. I was actually surprised that it turned out to be a really good experience, since it's completely free on Steam. Like, as fun and creative as the mechanics were, the amount of detail placed into the house was impressive. It was fun exploring every room and seeing all the unique objects that I could interact with. The only sad part about the game is it's really short. It took me about 50 minutes to complete it, but I can't complain too much since it's free after all. It just made me wish that I could play an even longer game like this. It would be cool if the concept can be expanded upon in another game. So yeah, I highly recommend Doronko Wanko. The next one is Shinkansen 0. If you've heard of a game called The Exit 8, then this game is really similar since you have to spot anomalies. It's basically a game of creepy spot the difference in a looping train, and your goal is to get from car 7 to car 0. If you see something off in the train, you have to turn back to the starting area, and if there's nothing off, then you just have to proceed through it normally. Getting it right means that you'll proceed to the next car, but if you get it wrong, then you'll start over from car 7. That's all you really need to do, but unlike the game it was inspired by, Shinkansen 0 actually has a story. You play as a guy who's trying to find a way out of the looping train, and he even encounters a kid who seems like he's stuck there too. I won't say anything more beyond that, but it makes it so much more interesting to see this concept being mixed in with the whole story. It kept me hooked, even when I kept making mistakes and starting over in car 7. I think it took me about an hour or something to beat this on stream, so if you want a short, creepy game that's also bittersweet, then you should check it out. Next is Lil Gator Game. This one's about a cute little gator that misses playing a fantasy game with his older sister, just like when they were younger. When she comes home from college for fall break, she ends up being too busy doing a project to play with him. So Lil Gator starts trying to get her attention by gathering his friends and making that fantasy game into reality. The real version of the game basically plays like an RPG. It's very Zelda, so you'll slowly acquire things like a sword, shield, and even a pointy hat. And just like a typical RPG, there's combat and quests, sort of. You can slash away at cardboard monsters, break pots, and accept quests from NPCs around the island. I usually get bored playing games that do this whole pretend play thing, so I wasn't sure if I was going to like Lil Gator Game since that's what the whole game's like, but it ended up becoming more and more addicting. It helps that exploration becomes even more fun as you progress through the game. You can glide around, climb, slide down slopes, and unlock so many hats and weapons. Breaking cardboard was rewarding too, since you would get money that could be used to upgrade your stamina and craft various items. Unlocking all that stuff made the gameplay and movement feel so much better. I love that the quests made me feel like I was making a difference too. Without saying too much, it was just nice seeing the main character help people and befriend them. I also liked that the game had themes about the reality of growing up and not having too much free time to do things, but it never felt like it made it depressing. The game was just so charming and adorable the whole way through. It took me over 4 hours to beat the game, and I loved it so much that I ended up getting all the achievements, especially since they were really easy to get. So yeah, I highly recommend Lil Gator Game if you want a short and sweet RPG. If you want to play it yourself, the game's out on a ton of platforms, including Xbox Game Pass. The next game is Escape the Backrooms. Last year, I played another game called Inside the Backrooms. I was expecting this game to be similar to that, but I was completely blown away by this one. Like seriously, for a game which I assume has a lot of asset flips, it's well made and incredibly fun to play through. So what is Escape the Backrooms about? It's a 1 to 4 player co-op horror game where you have to escape the backrooms. But what's cool about it is it's not a typical backrooms type of game. It has a bunch of different levels, each with their own unique puzzles, mechanics, and environments. Almost every level will provide you with things like a flashlight, as well as items that can restore your sanity or stamina. But what's cool about them is that there are always papers that'll give you clues on what you need to do to escape, or how you can deal with certain entities or monsters in the area. My boyfriend and I had an absolute blast playing through this, since every level provided a different experience. It was really fun trying to work together and get through everything that the game threw at us, and even if our plan failed, the checkpoints in this game were really generous. So if there was a level that we were halfway done with and we both ended up dying, there would usually be a checkpoint that lets us continue without starting all over again. It made the game feel less stressful when things got difficult. It took us about 8 hours to complete the game, for now at least. We actually played this for the first time at the end of 2023, and it got a big update at the start of 2024. We managed to get an ending in the latest update at the time of this video's release, but Escape the Backrooms is still an early access title, so I'm expecting even more updates, which is awesome since the game's fun and it's pretty cheap. I highly recommend this game. If you want to try it yourself, it's on Steam. Now the last one I'll talk about is Content Warning. This game felt like it came out of nowhere. I was just browsing Twitter one day, and then I saw Wario64 tweet on April 1 that it was free for 24 hours. The game looked interesting, so I decided to play it later that day. It ended up being pretty fun. So Content Warning is a co-op game that you can play with up to 4 people. It's like Lethal Company, but instead of scavenging to sell scrap, you're risking your life for views on SpookTube. So yeah, your goal is to film scary things, watch as your footage goes live, and hope that it becomes a viral video, even at the cost of your companion's life. When you survive and get revenue from your video, you can buy emotes and items that'll help you gain even more views. I thought that the whole concept was pretty funny because of how realistic it was. Like, I'm sure we've all heard and seen all the lengths that some YouTubers and streamers would go through just to go viral. But anyway, I really liked that Content Warning had this balance between wholesome and scary. The hub world was colorful, comforting, and safe. Meanwhile, the old world is devoid of everything. Things can go from quiet to scary real fast, so it was hilarious when I'd get to watch the video that me or my boyfriend filmed in the game. Now, as much as I love this title, it gets repetitive real fast, so I ended up playing it for just over an hour. Like, the game needs more content updates so that it would have more objectives, environments, and stuff. Basically, more variety. But since I managed to get the game for free at the time, I can't really complain too much. It does its job really well, and it's fun as it is. The game's full price is still pretty cheap, so if you want to try it out, then I recommend this game. It's like a more cutesy version of Lethal Company. Let me know what you thought about the video, and thank you to my patrons at Patreon for supporting my channel. I want to try something new, so I'm going to try that call for action thing again at the end of my videos. So yeah, it's gonna be a normal thing from now on. I might try something similar throughout the next videos too, but nothing too intrusive. So yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe if you found some cool games here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.